Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with my audio or the video, please do let me know. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Clear? Am I clear to everybody? Please do let me know. Great. So, how was your day, guys? Is everything all right with everybody? Please do let me know. Code with Akhil is also there with us right now, one of our old students that we have. Great to see you guys. Yeah. Okay, great. No issues. Amazing, amazing. Okay, so let me know, guys, what we have studied in our yesterday's class. Can somebody remind us what we have studied in our yesterday's class? Hey guys, can somebody remind me what we have studied in our yesterday's class? CSS. Okay, so we started out with CSS, and in that we studied about what are the three types of CSS, guys? Inline, internal, and external CSS. And which one should you prefer the most? Okay, which type of CSS should you prefer the most, guys? Please do let me know. External CSS. Okay, great, amazing, guys, amazing. So from today onwards, we will be continuing with our CSS. We will start learning the extra information that we need to build up upon the current that we have. So we will look at some of the projects itself, some of the mockups that we have to build up, and we'll be proceeding from right over there. Okay, it would be very easy, guys. Don't worry about it. Okay, we'll try to keep it very easy. And I have a small assignment for you guys as well. Of course, I'm not going to check this assignment. Okay, there's no submission for this assignment, but still, I will suggest you guys to try and practice this. How would you be able to create this entire website? Okay, using HTML and CSS. That would be your aim of the end of today's class. Because see, any type of web development, or you are doing DSA, CP, computer programming, anything that you are doing at the end of the day, or even data structures and algorithms or data science as well, everything is dependent only upon how you are able to practice this, how much you are able to practice it. Okay, so that is the reason why I've kept a small assignment for you guys. Again, you don't have to submit it. Okay, you don't I will not be able to take up the submissions. I will not be able to check it. It's totally up to you. If you have that drive, then you should definitely try to do that. Okay. Please tell how to redirect using button. Okay, so just use the href link itself inside, and you will be able to redirect it as well. Okay. Okay, I haven't shown the attendance link up till now, guys. We have just started out with our today's class. I'm just waiting for everyone to join the class itself. So we will be waiting for 1 or 2 minutes more, and then we'll start off with our today's class. Okay, don't worry, whatever I've said up till now, we will be repeating it in the future as well. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay. So this is one more t-shirt of DevTown that I'm wearing right now. So yeah, are you a web developer? So I have been a full stack engineer. I have been a data scientist, a data engineer, a software engineer as well in many companies. So yeah, one of the roles that I had was that of a full stack engineer. Is everything all right with your throat? I think so. Like there's some issues with the throat as well. It will take 1 or 2 days to resolve that, but no issues. We'll just continue with our today's class. Okay. Uh, Okay, I need to get one more device so that I'm able to see your screen as well, your live chat as well. So give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I will come back in a second or two. Okay, I will just get something to watch the live chat. Okay, give me a second. Okay, yeah, I'm back. So I brought in the device to watch the live chat and then we'll start off with our today's class. Okay. Yeah, so we don't sell DevTown merchandise. Okay. It's just for us, but yeah, we will be providing the t-shirts and the other things that we have created to our campus ambassadors. So we have a campus ambassador program and we send these t-shirts, shirts, and other goodies as well to our campus ambassadors. So yeah, I've opened up the live chat as well, and now we can start off with our today's class. No, the training program, that is full stack engineering program, happens on Zoom, not over here. Okay, so can we start off with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Can we start off with our today's class, guys? Can do let me know. Great. So let's start off with our today's class, guys. Okay. The first question that we are able to have right over here is we need to style an image. Okay, we need to take an image, we need to add a border to the image, we need to add a cursor change to the image and box shadow. So what we want to have is an image right over there, and we need to have a border around the image like a frame. Okay, we need to have, like, whenever our cursor, so the mouse cursor that you are having right over here, when you are hovering over the image itself, the cursor should change from the normal arrow that it is to a pointing finger. Okay, something like this, a pointing finger. And I need to put some shadow to our image as well. Okay, we need to put some shadow to our image as well. Now I'm able to understand that not many of you know CSS properties. So what to do in that particular case? For example, I need to put a border around an image. Okay, I need to put a border around an image. What I will be doing is I will go back to my screen. Okay, this is the HTML page that we are using. First, let us have an image right over here. Let's remove everything. And to put up an image, how to put an image in HTML, guys? Can somebody remind me? The name of the image is favicon144.png. How to put up 144.png on our screen, guys? Can somebody remind me? Please let me know. How to do that, guys? Can somebody let me know? Can somebody let me know, guys, how to insert an image in HTML? We have already done that while studying it in the yesterday's class or day before yesterday's class. Can somebody let me know how can we insert an image using CSS? Can somebody remind me that using HTML? Sorry, the image tag. That's great. So img, that is the tag that we are going to use. And inside of that, the source file would be favicon 114. Okay, so we will just select favicon 144.png, and for the alternate text we are going to have mdn logo. Okay, we're going to have mdn logo as our alternate text. Let's save this right over here. Let's open up our website in a new window, and just let's scroll this off from right over here. We don't require this. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see, this is our website with the image. Now I want to have a border around it. I want to have a border around this image. So what is the property, what is the attribute of HTML that I should use to put up a border, put up a frame around it? So I know that we need to use border category, like attribute itself. But what if you don't know? Okay, so what you can do is just do a simple Google search. Okay, just do image. Okay, img bord, yeah, border CSS. Okay, let's do a image border CSS. Okay, so as you're able to see, we are getting the first link of CSS border images using W3 schools, as you're able to see. So just read through the entire thing. Okay, just read through the entire thing, how you are able to put up a border to a particular image and so on and so forth. Okay, just read through the entire thing. What are the different properties that it has, what are the different things that you can apply to it, and so on and so forth. So just read through the same and it will be very easy. What we need to do right now is we are having the image source alternate text as well. Now, if you want to put up a border around it using CSS, what is the first thing that you are going to use? What is the first thing that you are going to use? Can somebody remind me? Please remind me what I've told you guys. Whenever you are putting up CSS, what should be the process that you should be following? Can somebody remind me? Please let me know. No, not border tag. Okay, can somebody remind me? Not ID. Okay, class. Adarsh Gautam, you are absolutely clever, guys. Class is what we need to assign to image. Never use directly the image tag. Never use ID. Try to use classes wherever possible. So this particular image tag, I'm going to assign a class, and the class I'm going to name it as MDN. Okay, that is the class that I'm currently naming it as MDN right over here. Let's save this. Now we have already linked our style sheet, as we are able to see. So style.css, we are going to go into our style.css. How are we going to select a class, guys? Can somebody remind me, how are we going to select a class? Can somebody remind me, guys? What is the process of selecting a class, guys? Can somebody remind me what is the selector? That's absolutely clever, guys. .mdn. Okay, .mdn right over here. That is how you will be able to select the class. Now, what are the changes that you want to apply to it? We want it to have a border. Okay, so let's have is there's a border. Okay, and let's keep the border, how thick the border should be. So let's keep it as 10 pixels all around. Okay, so it should be 10 pixels all around. The color, let's say it should be salmon. Okay, we are keeping the color as salmon, and the pattern, let us keep it as dotted. We want to keep the pattern as dotted. Okay, so let's first keep it, let's not advanced it. Okay, let's just keep it as 10 pixels itself. Okay, so border is 10 pixels, as you are able to see right over here. We are using .mdn, which we have studied yesterday. Border is the property that we want to apply to create a border around our mdn class, and the thickness of that border, okay, that thickness of that border all around the image, the frame thickness should be of 10 pixels. Let's go back to our website. Let us reload our page. As you are able to see, there is no, okay, did I make some error right over here? Let me just check. Okay, so I think so the it has a border, but it has become invisible, so I need to have it as a solid border itself. Let's keep it as a solid border right over here. Let's go back to our screen, reload the page. Okay, so what happened previous to that is, although I had a border, I hadn't specified what kind of border it is. So it created an invisible border for us. Okay, we will be understanding what border means, and so there is padding, there's margin, there's border. So these are some of the concepts that we will be looking at. So when I wrote just 10 pixels border, so it created an invisible border around our image, but we wanted to see it. So I've written solid right over here so that I'm able to see the border as well. So as you're able to see, we are having a black colored border all around our image. And I don't like this color. I want to change the color of this border. What I can do is I can come back to my code, and after solid I can just write, maybe let's say salmon. Okay, maybe let's say salmon right over here. I want it to be salmon color. Now salmon color is, salmon is a fish. The color of that fish, when you eat that fish, is basically salmon. So it has, the name is right over there. So it's like a baby pink sort of color itself. If you go back to your website and reload the page, as you're able to see, the border becomes salmon in color instead of black. Now I don't want it to be, let's say, I don't want it to be like solid. I want some pattern around it. So I can use, instead of solid, I can use dotted. Okay, I can use dotted. As you're able to see, let us take up dotted right over here. So border is 10 pixels wide. I want it to be dotted in like the type itself, and I want it to be salmon. Let us run this little line of code, and as you're able to see, the entire dots are there around our image itself. And this is how you are able to create a dotted layout around the image. Okay, this is how you are able to create a dotted border. Okay, so you can still explore a lot with the CSS border, as you are able to see right over here. Think about what are the different things that you want to apply, just read through them. and you will be able to understand it a lot. Okay, there's a lot of different things that you can explore from right over here. Do give it a try. Okay, read through the documentation properly. It's really very important. Okay, how you are able to like reading a documentation at the end of the day is very very important. Okay, so do go through documentation, anything that you want to do. So for example, if you want a circular border, instead of having it instead of making the border go around in a particular shape of the image itself, that is in a rectangle, if you want to have a circular image, okay, if you want to create a circular image, what should you do? Okay, what should you do at the end of the day? For that, just search for it. It's very simple. Okay, image circle CSS. Okay, how to create rounded image, and you are able to see right over here you are using border radius. So for that, what you will be going back to our code and including one more thing called as border radius. So BORD border, and then radius right over here, and that will be 50%. Okay, that is the radius of the image should be 50%. That is, the radius should be 50% of the width and height of the image. So right over here, if I'm saying this, going back to my screen, as you're able to see right over here, we are able to create a circular image as well. So you need to understand, these are some of the techniques that you need to understand. You need to be good at Googling itself. At the end of the day, you need to have to be Google. So for example, like I said, you don't need to know everything from the start. You don't need to know everything from the start. You cannot remember everything as well. Even I have sometimes some problems remembering stuff. That is all about practice. The more you practice, the more you will be Googling stuff, you will be knowing stuff, you'll be implementing things, and slowly and slowly you will be able to build your knowledge. Okay, so that is the main thing that you need to understand right over here. Are you guys able to understand right over here? Okay, why did we use 50%? Let's try to understand that. Okay, so 50% is basically 50% of the width of the image. If you are having an image right over here, suppose you are having an image right over here. Let's say this is your image. Okay, this is your image right over here. You want it to be, because you want to create it as a circle. Okay, you want to create it, convert it into a circle itself. So this radius of this image, what should be the radius of this image? The radius of the image, as you're able to see, if you want to convert this into a circle, draw a circle inside of it, the radius would be equal to 50% of the width of the image. The radius would be equal to 50% of the width of the image. That is why you are keeping the border radius as 50% to be able to convert a square image to a circle right over here. Okay. Okay, so let us look at the next question that we are having. Let's go back to the PPT. Next, we want to apply a cursor change on the image. If we are hovering over the image, the cursor should change. So what should be the CSS code that we should use? Again, very simple. Never be afraid to Google search it. A simple Google search will result to you change URSOR on hover image CSS. You want it to be a CSS property. Okay, so again you will have like programmers portal, you are having Stack Overflow, Tutorial Republic, so you can go to any of them. Okay, you can go to any of them. So as you are able to see, we will be opening this, and you will be able to see a lot of examples right over here. Yeah, you will be able to see a lot of examples. Now if you are not very sure that okay, this is what you want to do, then just click on try now. So they have that option to basically look at how will it look at the end of the day. As you're able to see, when you are hovering over the cursor, okay, so you can even put up your own image for the cursor as well. You can even put up your own image for the cursor as well. So for that, you are having this cursor property. Okay, what is cursor? Sakil Pohit, I think so you should go back to first standard. Cursor is the pointer that you use to point out to different objects, the cursor. Okay, so I need to show it to you guys, I guess. Okay, so as you're able to see from the image itself, this is a cursor. Okay, this is what a cursor looks like. Okay, are you able to see this, guys? Please do let me know. I hope that you guys are familiar with cursors now. Okay, great. Then go to the cursor documentation as well. You can just see what are the different cursor movements that they have, weight, crosshairs, so what are the syntax, what are the different things that you can do. Now, for example, if you want to convert it into a pointer, then the example is use pointer itself. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to have a simple stuff. Okay, we are going back to our code. We are going to have another that is called a CUR cursor, and we are going to put it as a pointer. Now that is a logo like this. This is what you want. So let us save it right over here. Go back to our website. So the code that I put up is cursor pointer. Okay, we are going back to our website, reload the page, and as you're able to see right over here, when I'm hovering over the image itself, my cursor becomes a pointer. Are you guys able to see the pointer? Please do let me know. As soon as I'm hovering, so it's an arrow. As soon as I'm hovering over the image, it becomes a pointer. As soon as I'm hovering over the image, it becomes a pointer. Are you guys able to see this? Are you guys able to understand? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Are you guys able to understand? Please do let me know. Amazing, guys. Amazing. You guys are so clever. Okay. So let us look at the next property that we want to change. Box shadow. We need to provide some kind of shadow to the box itself. For that, first of all, we need it to be a box. We are going to remove the border radius property. This is a simple border that we are having right over here. Let's go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see, a simple border that we are having right over here. Now, what we need from the same is that we want to provide a 3D sort of structure. We need to show that the image is coming up a bit above the normal website itself. So we need to put up some shadow behind it. How to put shadow to an image? Again, very simple. Just go back to the website, just search for SHADOW shadow CSS. Okay, and property, just search for that. So you will be able to see CSS shadow effects that you are able to see right over here. Now you don't want to have a text shadow, you want to have an image shadow, a border shadow itself. Okay, so what you're going to do is again search for that. So image, let's search for image shadow CSS property. Okay, again box shadow property, that is what we are going to be using. So we will be using the box shadow property. Just look at the properties, try to understand how these work. Okay, so for example, let's try this out. So we are having the example as 5 pixel, 10 pixel, and then 8 pixel right over here. Okay, for the first image. Okay, so example 1, as you're able to see, it's 5 pixel, 8 pixel, and 10 pixel. That the 5 pixel and 10 pixel is what goes around in a clockwise direction. Okay, so let's try to understand this from an example right over here. So this is your box. Okay, this is your box right over here. Let's draw a box right over here. Now you need to provide a shadow. You need to provide a shadow around it. So you want some shadow right over here. You want some shadow right over here as well. So what should be the thickness of the shadow? Okay, what is the thickness of the shadow? So it will be box shadow. That is the property, border shadow. That is the property that you are using right over here. And then whatever numbers that you're writing, okay, whatever thickness that you're writing, you are writing the thickness in a clockwise direction. So if you're writing 5 pixel, then 10 pixel right over here, that is what you are writing, that okay, the width is 5 pixel right over here. The width of the shadow is 5 pixel right over here. The width of this particular shadow is 10 pixel right over here. Okay, if you're writing, then again, if you're not writing anything, then only these two sides will get the shadow. Only these two sides will get the shadow. If you're writing anything else right over here, let's say 6 pixels and 20 pixels, so that will be a shadow right over here for 6 pixels. So this shadow would be of 6 pixels, and this entire shadow would be of 20 pixels in width. Okay, so the width would be 20 pixels, and so on and so forth. So right now we don't want that, we just want, so when you are creating something that is 3D, you only want to have the shadow on two sides, so that you are able to give that 3D sort of effect right over there. So we are only going to have 5 pixel and 10 pixel right over here. Now if we are putting up another number, that is how blurred that shadow should be. It shouldn't be like a hard box, it is a shadow, so you need to spread that shadow as well. So I'm putting up 8 pixel right over here. I'm putting up 8 pixel right over here, and then the color of the shadow that I want. And as you're able to see, this will be then blurred out. Okay, this will be blurred out a bit for 8 pixels. This will also be blurred out by 8 pixels right over here. So let us go and write this particular code. Okay, we will go back to our screen. We are going back to our code right over here, and we are going to have another property, that is the border and shadow. Okay, box shadow, sorry. So we are going to have the box shadow. Inside the box shadow, we are going to have it as a bit 3D. So let us keep it as 10 pixel, 10 pixel, and 10 and let's have the spread by, let's say, 5 pixels. Okay, let's have this spread by 5 pixels. So on the right hand side, you are having 10 pixels of shadow. On the bottom, you are having 10 pixels of shadow. You're having 5 pixels of spread as well. And again, the color should be in salmon, because of course we are using salmon right over there. Let us keep the color as salmon. Let's save this right over here. Go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see, you are able to get that shadow around the image. Okay, you are able to get that shadow around the image. Let's change the dotted to, let's say, solid itself. Let's change the dotted to solid. Let's reload this. Okay, as you're able to see, you are having the image and then you are having the shadow around it with some like blurriness as well. Let's try to understand that blurriness. Let's change it to black. Let's change this to black. Let's remove the 5 pixel from right over here. Okay, let's have it just as 10 pixel, 10 pixel, and just save this. Go back to our website, reload the page. Okay, as you're able to see, you are only getting the shadow, but it's like you are getting a solid shadow right over there. Okay, you are getting 10 pixels on the right hand side. What code I have written right over here is 10 pixels on the right hand side, 10 pixels on the bottom, 10 pixels on the right hand side, 10 pixels on the bottom. Okay, as you're able to see, you are having a solid shadow, of 10 pixels by 10 pixels that you are able to create. But does a shadow look like this? Does a shadow look like this, guys? Please do let me know. Does a normal shadow look like this? Please let me know, guys. Does a shadow look like this, guys? Please do let me know. Is this how you guys see a shadow? Exactly. You never see a shadow like that. Okay, so a shadow needs to be a little bit blurred out. Okay, it needs to be spread out a bit, and that is where your third property comes into being, that you're writing right over here, by how much you want to spread it. Okay, I want to spread it by 20 pixels. Let us write 20 pixels right over here. Save this, go back to our website, reload the page, and it will spread it for us by 20 pixels. It will just spread it. It's like whenever you are doing a bit painting, you're just spreading it a lot. Okay, the higher the spread is, the more it will be like diluted. Okay, if I want it to be less diluted, I will put it something like 5 pixels. Okay, I put it something like 5 pixels right over here. So I'm going back to my website, reloading the page. Now that blur would be a bit less. As you're able to see, that blur is a bit less. Okay, so you can tamper with it. Are you guys able to understand? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand? Please let me know, guys. If you want to have, like, let's say a third side as well, then you will have to specify a third file right over here. And if you don't want a spread, then you will have to write 0 pixel right over there to specify a third side. Okay, that is how it works. Because usually you don't have a third side, that is the reason why we have it like that. Okay, so let's give this as 10 pixels, 10 pixels, 10 pixels right over here. Let's go back to our website, reload the page. Okay, so as you're able to see, you are having a bit of the shadow on the top as well. Now it is getting cutted out because there's nothing on top of it. Okay, on the left hand side, you are able to see, like, on all the 4 sides, there is some shadow, and it is using the last to spread it out as well. That is how you need to experiment out a bit. Okay, you need to experiment out a bit. Now, if I'm just keeping it as just 10 pixels right over here, nothing else, just 10 pixels, box shadow. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, as you're able to see, nothing happens because you cannot have a shadow on just one side. Okay, so just experiment out with it a bit. Okay, you guys will be able to understand and there will be no issues. Experiment a bit how much you are able to understand. Look through the documentation properly, go through the documentation, try to understand the documentation as well, how to create multiple shadows. This is a question that a particular person asked, so go right over there, learn it from there. It is very easy. Okay, don't worry about it. Let us look at the next particular point that we have. Okay, the next is styling of font. Okay, so you are having any type of font that you are having. We want the font family to be Helvetica or Arial or sans serif. This is what we want to have. So let's do one thing, guys. Let's go back to our website. Let's remove the image and let's put up a small paragraph tag. Okay, let's remove the image from right over here. Let's put up a small paragraph tag. Okay, inside the paragraph tag, what we want to do is we want to have text. Let us keep the text as hello world. It's sure Sinha right here. We're having a small paragraph as you are able to see right over here. Okay, and we will be reloading our website and we are able to get hello world this Suna right over here. Okay, so this is the basic. Okay, this is the basic thing that we are having right now. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to go back to our website. The first thing that we want to change is the font family to Helvetica, Arial or sans serif. So for that you have a very simple CSS property, that is font family itself. So first of all, we need to assign a class to it. Class, let's say that txt. We are going to use the class as txt. We are going to go back into our styles.css, remove everything from right over here, and we are going to use our tag as .txt, and we are going to write our first thing as font a family that we want to have right over here, and we want to have the font family as Arial, Helvetica or sans serif. So this is how you are able to include the font family. Now, why are there three font families right over here? I hope that you guys are very familiar with Google documentations. How many of you are familiar with what a font family is? Okay, how many of you are familiar with a font family, guys? Please do let me know. How many of you are familiar with font family, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, font family, you have already used Google documentations, and in Google Docs, you are having that you can change the font of a particular text that you are writing at any point of time. The same thing you want to do it with the text on your screen as well. So now, why are we having three different fonts? Why are we using three different fonts right over here? Now, maybe some of the browser might not be able to render Arial. Maybe some of the browsers might not be able to render Helvetica. Maybe some of the browsers might not be able to render sans serif. So we are providing three different, this is a font family, guys. We're providing three different forms that look a bit similar to each other, so that if the first family, if the first of like Arial font is not supported by the browser in which your website is currently rendering, in that particular case it will render Helvetica. If Helvetica is also not supported in that browser, it will render sans serif. Even if sans serif is also not present in that browser, then it will default back to the normal like paragraph tag that is currently there. Okay, so right now I'll be saving this, going back to my website, reloading the page right over here. As you're able to see, the font changes. Okay, the font basically changes from the normal paragraph tag to basically the Arial font family itself. Okay, and that is how you are able to use the font family. Okay, the next thing that we have in our question is we want to have it font size to 60 pixels. Okay, we want to have the font size to 60 pixels. So let's go back to our screen again, code, and we will have another CSS code that we have, that is font size, and we will set the font size as 60 pixels. Okay, right over here. So let us save it right over here, go back to our website. Let us just reload the page. So this is the original size of the code. We are changing into 60 pixels, and this is the new size of the paragraph tag. Okay, as you are able to see, this is the new size of the paragraph tag. Okay, the next that we are having right over there is we want to change everything to uppercase. Okay, we want to change everything, all the letters in our text to uppercase, everything that is present right over here to uppercase. How to do that? Again, if you don't know, just Google search for it, CSS to uppercase. As you're able to see, text transform is the property that you will be using. So we'll be using text transform right over here as well. So text transform, and we'll be using uppercase right over there. We'll be using uppercase. So I'm saving this right over here. We're going back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see, everything becomes uppercase. Everything becomes uppercase right over here. You can use capitalize as well to capitalize everything. So we can use capitalize, then everything would be capitalized. As you're able to see right over here, it would be hello world, it's Shara Sinha right over here. The first letter is always capital. So you can use text transform to do that as well. Okay, using just CSS. Now, what is the next thing that we are having? Underline the text. How can we underline the text? There are two ways of going about it. You can, of course, use the U tag. Okay, you can go to your index.html and use the U tag right over here. Okay, so this is the U tag. As you are able to see inside the paragraph tag, I'm putting up my U tag, and I'm closing the U tag as well. So the U tag basically is used for underlining the text. Okay, the U tag is basically used for underlining the text. I'm really reloading my page. As you're able to see, we are having, you can use U to underline the text as well. But what if I don't want to use HTML? I don't want to use HTML for that. In that particular case, there is text decoration that we'll be using. But again, we don't know that. We'll again be doing a Google search, underline CSS. Okay, let's take up underline CSS, that you are having the text decoration property, and you will have the underline right over there. Again, go back to your website, go back to CSS, use text decoration, so text decoration, and you are going to use the underline property right over there. Let's save this, go back to our website, reload the page, and this underline that you are able to see right now is using CSS. Okay, let's look at the next property that if you want to change the color to RGB 19, 11, 22, 30. This is the color that we want to change it to. Okay, so there are two things that you can do. Okay, you can just copy it, or if you don't know how to change the color of a particular text, you can just search for it, CSS text color change RGB. Okay, just search for it. Okay, so color property that we'll be using, and you can directly specify the RGB values right over there. You can just come back to your code, you can just have another property color right over here. Okay, and I just clicked on something else. So you can directly use the color property right over here, and for the color you want it to be an RGB value. So RGB value that you want to do, the RGB value has been stated as 19, 11, 12, 30. Okay, so 19, then you want to have 11, then you want to have 230 right over here. Okay, so this is the color that you want to have. So let's save it, go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see now, the color has been changed to our RGB values that we have been provided. So again, now these CSS properties, you don't need to remember it. You don't need to remember it. Again, like I said, with practice, you will be able to start to remember stuff as well, and it will become much more easy for you. You just need to understand that if something has been written, if you want to do something, how to search for that, what should you write for that, how should you use it right over there. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. You guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. See, life is not an exam. In the interview as well, nobody is going to expect you to remember everything. Now, yes, the basics you should be able to know. What is decoration, what is back shadow properties. All these are basics of CSS. You need to remember that, of course, because when you will be coding a lot, when you will be making projects, like you have said that yes, I'm making projects and these are on my resume, then these basic stuff, of course, you need to remember, because with practice you will be able to remember it as well. But yes, advanced concepts, people just want you to understand whether you know the concepts or not. How does CSS work? What is the like hereditary in that CSS and all those kind of stuff? So they want you to remember that, of course, but nobody is going to do that with you in an exam. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next particular project that we are having. Let's style a page. So what we want to do is we want to create a small page like this, and we want it to be styled something like this. As you're able to see, there's a bit of radius around the image, so the original image is a bit sharp, as you're able to see. Okay, this is the original image, it's a bit sharp. Now the new image is a bit rounded from the edges. Okay, the next thing is that the text is along with the image right over here from the start. We want it to be changed to so that the text is almost in the middle of the image. Now the text right over here is normal. Okay, we want it to be changed to a bit of italics. Similarly, the title as well, as you're able to see, is from the start and is of black in color. We want to put up the title as red in color and exactly in the middle along with the text at the bottom. This is what we want to do. Let's first start by creating the HTML. Let's first start by creating the HTML right over here. We want a paragraph tag right over there. We want an h1 tag as well. Let's create an h1 tag. Let's name the h1 tag as chicken clay pot. Okay, so CHICKEN clay pot right over here. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is we want to have an image. So for right now, let us take an image from the internet. So CHICKEN chicken clay pot rice. Let's take up chicken clay pot rice. Let's take up an image. I like this image. Let's take that image up. Copy image address. Let's take up the address of the image directly. So img source, this is the source image. Alternate text, we want to keep the alternate text as ICKEN chicken clay pot rice. Okay, we want to save this right over here. We also want to have the CSS attributes, so the class attributes with each of them. The class heading, then we want to have the class for the image as well. So class, I will assign this as a class of imag image. We want to have a paragraph text. It already has a class of txt as well. It already has a class of txt. And what we want to do is let's look at the image. Crispy rice baked in clay pot topped with chicken and vegetables. Are we able to find something like that on the internet? Let's see. Okay, let's just take it from right over here. Let's just take up the text from right over here. Let's go back to our website and paste it here inside. Control V. Let's keep it a bit short. Let's keep it as a recipe for clay pot chicken rice. This is good. A bit of smaller paragraph tag right over there. Let's save this. Let's remove the everything from right over here. Again, save this, go back to our website, reload the page. So this is the original image that you are able to see. Now the image is also huge, so we'll have to resize the image as well. Now we cannot use such a big image. Are you able to see this, guys? You cannot use such a big image right over here. You need to make the image a bit smaller. So what we are going to do right over here is we are going to resize the image as well. We cannot use this image. So let's go back to our website. Okay, let's go back to our website. Let's first start off with the first text. Okay, let's first start off with the text itself. We need it to be centered, and we need it to be red in color. Now, how to center a image? Okay, how to center a text? How to do that? Okay, how to center everything? So for that, we can again go to our website, just search for it, center element CSS. Okay, so you will be able to see the layout function right over here, and you will be able to see how to center a particular item. So text align center. Okay, so text align center right over there. So what you want to do is you can just go through the entire stuff, how to center different stuff together. You can just read through them properly. Okay, try to understand. See everything that you're going through. Don't do something like this. Okay, so for example, you wanted to just center it. Okay, so you got to know from the very first line that okay, I can just use text align right over there, and I will be able to do this and move further with that. Just go through, just take some time, go through the entire documentation, read it. See, going through a documentation sometimes will increase your knowledge as well. Okay, slowly and steadily it will increase your knowledge as well, and you are here to increase your knowledge. Okay, you are here to increase your knowledge as well. So please always try to do this. Read through as much as you can. Okay, read through as much as you can. So let's go back to our website. Let's use text align. So we want to do dot heading. That is the h1 tag that we have. We want it to be text align, and then we want it to be at center. Let's save this right over here. Go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see now, the chicken clay pot is in the center of the entire thing. Okay, in the center of our website as well. Now we need to change the color. So for the changing the color, it's extremely simple. Color, we want to change it to red. Okay, so it's assign red right over here. Save it. Go back to the website. Reload the page. Okay, so you're able to see we have changed it to red right over here. Okay. Next thing that you want to do right now is you want to make the image a bit smaller. Okay, you cannot use this particular image. Okay, you cannot use this particular image. You want it to be a bit smaller. So what you will be doing is you will be going back. You will be using the dot image right over here. Okay, and in the image tag, in the image class that you are having, you need it to have a height and width of, let's say 800 pixels. That have a width of 800 pixels, guys. So the width, I'm keeping it as 800 pixels. The width of the image, I'm keeping it as 800 pixels. Okay, so we will go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see, the width of the image right now is 800 pixels. Okay, but is this something that is appropriate enough? No, I don't think so. I should decrease the size a bit more. So I need the size to be, let's say, of 600 pixels. Okay, let's try to keep the size as 600 pixels right over here. Let's go back to our website and reload the page. As you're able to see, we are getting the size of the image as 600 pixels right over here. Okay, the width is 600 pixels. The height will automatically adjust itself because you don't want it to be like 600 pixels of width and height of like 1000 pixels. It will look just like very stressed out, and you don't want that. So it automatically decreases the height along with the width itself. So we are just adjusting the width. So what we want to do right now is we want to decrease the size. Okay, we have decreased the size. Now we also want it to be centered. Okay, we also want it to be centered right now. So what we'll be doing is we want it to be centered. So what is the can somebody Google it and let me know what should the image, what should be the CSS property that I should use right over here so that I'm able to center the image? What should be the CSS property that I should be using right over here to center the image, guys? Can somebody let me know? Can somebody let me know, guys? If you don't know, again, what you want to do is you want to just search for it. Okay, just go to Google. Okay, you want to center an image. Okay, and CSS. Okay, you want to center an image in CSS. How to center an image, we'll be able to get that from right over there. Just go through the entire stuff. Okay, try to read it. Okay, try to understand it as much as possible. Okay, so what should we do, guys? Please let me know. Many of them are saying display flex and all this kind of stuff. Think about it, guys. So many of the people right over there said that we could directly use text align. Okay, we could directly use text align and put it up as center. Now this won't work. Okay, there's a very big problem right over here, and this won't work. And this is a concept that I wanted you to understand. That is the reason why I had it right over here. Although you can use the text align on your text itself, and it was able to center the text for you, but for the image, you are not able to do that. Why is that the case? Why is this the case, guys? Okay, now this is the case because the image, you can just go through and read through it as well. You can just go through different stuff and read the entire thing. Okay, so all these different elements that you have on your screen right over here, so you are having a chicken clay pot, you are having the image right over here. There are various different types of elements as well. There are different types of elements. Now I'll be discussing two of these types of elements that we have. Okay, why this won't work, why text align center won't work, we are going to understand that. Okay, right over here, let's go back to our drawing board. Let's try to understand this stuff. Okay, so whenever you are having, okay, whenever you are having a text, okay, whenever you are having a text, like for example an h1 element, you are having an h1 element, this element is usually referred to as an inline element, sorry, block element. Okay, this is referred to as a block element. Okay, this is called as a block element. Why is the h1 element called as a block element, guys? Why is h1 element called as a block element, whereas the image element is usually referred to as an inline element? Why is image element referred to as an inline element, whereas an h1 tag referred to as a block element? Let's try to understand that. So let's go back to our website. If we are clicking on our h1 element and going on to the inspect option, right click on the h1 element and go to the inspect option right over there. Okay, inside the inspect option, if you are hovering over the h1 element, as you are able to see, if I'm hovering over the code for the h1 element, the entire line, the entire width of your screen gets highlighted. Okay, the entire width of the screen gets highlighted. Except h1 element, nothing else can come up on this particular line itself. Only the h1 element takes up the entire width of the screen. The h1 element tries to take up the entire width of the screen, and that is why it is referred to as a block element. It's like a block. If you are inserting it right over there, it will just expand itself to take up the entire width of the screen. Now when you are using text align center on it, then it is able to center it with accordance to the width of the screen itself. It is able to center itself in accordance with the width of the screen itself. Whereas if you go to the image element, we are hovering over the image element right over here, you are able to see that only the image gets highlighted, nothing else. Only the image gets highlighted, because image is an inline element. So you can have multiple images in the same line. You can have 2-3 images in the same line, because these are inline elements. They only take up that much space in which they exist. Whatever is the height and the width of the image, it will take up only that much particular space, and hence it is called as an inline element. You can have multiple images in the same line because they don't take that much space. They don't take the entire width of the screen itself. Whereas your h1 element is your box type. Okay, it's your block type. So it takes the entire width of your screen. It takes up the entire width of the screen. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand the difference between the same? Please let me know, guys. Guys able to understand the difference between the same, guys? Please do let me know. So now what we need to do is, in order to use text align center, we need to change the image from a inline element to a block element. We need to change the image from an inline element to a block element. For that we are going to use, okay, let's just remove this text line for right now. Let's comment it out. Okay, we are going to use display property. Okay, we are going to use the display property right now. We are going to on the top display, and we are going to change the display to block. Okay, we are going to change the display to block element. Okay, let's save this, go back to our screen, reload the page. Okay, as you're able to see, the image itself I'm hovering over it right now, if I'm hovering over the image right now, as this is now a block element, okay, as this is now a block element, it is taking the entire width of the screen. Are you guys able to see this? As now the image, the block element, is able to take the entire width of the screen. Now what happens is, if I'm putting up, now let's see what happens if I'm putting up text align center. Okay, let's go back to our screen, reload the page. Okay, it's still not be able to show me the text align center. Why is that the case? Again, I'm getting some issue. Okay, again I'm getting some issue right over there. Let's try to understand this. Why is the center element not working properly? Okay, why is text align center not working properly for our image tag? Okay, is it able to see? We are able to see that we are having the display as block, we are having the width as 600 pixels, we are having the text align as center as well, but the text, that is the image, is not getting aligned to the center. Why is that the case? We need to understand that. Again we'll search for it, again we'll go through the things, we'll try to understand it, and we are able to see margin as 0. Many a times we are able to see this margin as 0. So let's try to explore what is the margin for our element. Okay, let's try to understand what is the margin for our element. Okay, let's increase the size of the element. Okay, let's go down below right over here. And what is the margin? Okay, so we are not able to see the margin. We need to create a margin itself. As you're able to see the margin, if I'm highlighting the margin, so there is some property, so we will be discussing about it. Every element has, so we have seen the border property. Okay, every element has some padding, some border, and some margin around it. So we will be saying what this means right now. So think about an element. Okay, think about an element. So right now as well, when we are using our property of text line, we have used display as a block. But what is the problem right now? Why are we are still not able to center the element using text align? So we need to understand that. So just think about every element on your screen, every element that you're able to see on your screen as your house. Now I'm talking about a very, very good quality house. I'm talking about a bungalow inside like a good spaced like area itself. Just think about it in such a way. So right over here you are having the house. Okay, this is your house. Let me draw the house for you guys. So this is your house right over here. Let me just fill up it with a black color as well. So this is your house. Okay, inside the middle. Think about it as the element as well. Okay, it can be the text, it can be the image, it can be anything. So if it is a text, and this is like A N D. Okay, so this is your element. Okay, this is your element called as AND right over here, and this is your element. Okay, this is your house itself. Now whenever you are constructing a house, what are the different things that you keep in mind while constructing a house itself? Okay, try to understand this. What are the different things that you keep in mind while you are creating a house? First of all, whenever you are creating a house, you want some area to walk around the house as well. Okay, you want some, so you won't do something like this. You won't do something like this, that you are having a area, let's say you are having some area on which you can build a house. So this is the area that you have, and people have said that okay, you can utilize this particular entire area to build your house. Now you don't do something like that. Okay, this is the entire plot that I bought, I build the house on the entire stuff. I build the house, I will not even leave a centimeter of space around the house. I'll build everything on the house, like on the plot itself. You don't do something like that. You first create a particular house. Okay, around that house, then you create the lawn. Okay, you create the lawn around that house. So you will utilize some of the space around that house to create a lawn itself. Some free area where, whether you want to create a pond, you want to create a like vegetable garden or something like that, or something like that. So you are creating some space, although you own that plot. This is your plot itself. You're using that plot right over there to construct some kind of garden, some kind of padding around the house itself. Now the similar way, this is called as this green space, the garden itself, which is owned by that house, by the owner itself, is called as the padding. Okay, you're creating a padding inside the house. So if this is your house right over here, okay, let's say you will create a padding around the house. Let us take up a rectangle, a green rectangle, and you will create a padding like this around the house itself. right over here, and you will just let me color this as well. So this is your padding, this is your grass that you have created, and in the middle of it you are having your element. Okay, in the middle of it you're having your house or your element. Okay, so this is how you basically create your house. Okay, so this is your element right over here, and let me just recolor this so that we are able to see the house. Now once you've created the house, once you've created the garden around it, what is the next thing that you'll be creating? You need to make sure that your house is safe. You need to make sure that your house is safe. So for that you create a border around the house. Okay, for that you create a border around the house. As you are able to see right over here, you are able to create a border around the house itself. Okay, you are able to create a border around the house. Okay, so you're having the image, you're having the padding, and then you are having the border as well. Okay, similarly the element as well has the element, it has some padding, it has some border around it as well. Now after that, after creating a border, if this is the house number 1 and house number 1 and this is the house number 2, will the houses be made in such a way that they are just like, they are just one of the border is just sit touching the border of the other house? Okay, you don't have any place to walk around it. You won't be creating a house like that. You won't be planning your society like that. You won't be creating a house that this is the house, this is the border of the house 1, this is the border of the house 2, and you're just like, there shouldn't be a single centimeter of gap between the two. That isn't just possible. You need to have some roads around the house itself, but you won't give your land to create that road. Why would you give your land, what you have bought, to create that road itself? So you have some margin around the house that is by the government. Now this land that is the margin is by the government itself, is the browser itself. It's not belonging to that element, it is for the browser itself. So right over here you can create a margin around the house as well. So this would be your margin. So this is the margin for the house 1, this is the margin for the house 2 right over here. So this basically ensures that both the houses are separated from each other. Both the houses are separated from each other, both the elements are separated from each other. That is the duty of margin. So are you guys able to understand the concept of padding, border and margin, guys? Are you guys, just think about it as a house, think about it as a society, you will be able to understand it. Are you guys able to understand the concept of padding, border and margin? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand the concept of padding, margin and border, guys? Please do let me know. Great, amazing, guys, amazing. So now that same thing is happening right over here as well. The image that you have created, margin, is basically yellow in color. As you're able to see, it's a yellowish orangish in color right over here. So the margin of the image is pretty huge. The margin of the image is pretty huge. As you're able to see, this is the margin, the orange part is the margin, so it is taking up the entire width of the screen itself. And the reason, due to that, you're not able to center your image, due to the margin being so huge that there is no space to center the image right now. What you want to do is you want to create the margin to be 0. You want to create the margin to be 0. You cannot have such a huge margin. The orange portion, the blue portion is your image, that is your element. Okay, that is your house, and the yellow portion that you are able to see highlighted on the screen is the margin. You don't want a huge margin like that. How will you center the image then? This is the reason why you will go back to your code and you will have another property right over here, margin, and I want to keep the margin from all the sides as 0 pixels. Okay, I want to keep the margin from all the sides as 0 pixels. I'm going back to my website, reloading the page right over here. Okay, it should have done that. Let me just change this. X, B, Control S. Website, reload the page. See if I'm making some error or something like that. Okay. It should have worked. I guess there is some problem that has been made right over here. Let's change this to auto then. Let's say I'm putting it up as 0 pixels. Let's change this to auto. Let's keep the text align as well. Is this working right now? Yes. Okay, so right over here, what I've done is instead of putting up the margin as 0, I think so there were some issues with 0 as well. So it is basically taking it up as the left hand side margin should be 0. So it is again taking the entire image and pushing it towards the left hand side of the entire screen to keep the margin 0 right over there. So what we want to do is we want to change the margin to auto. We want to change the margin to auto. So because we don't know what the margin should be, we don't know what the margin to the left hand side should be, what is the margin should the right hand side should be. So due to that reason, it will automatically assign, to keep the image at the exact center, it will automatically assign the margin for us on both the sides. As you're able to see, it is automatically assigning us the margin on both the sides, on the left hand side of the image as well as on the right hand side of the image. Okay, so it is automatically assigning that, and that is the reason why we have used auto, so that you decide what the margin should be. The next thing that we want to work upon is that on the image that we saw, we want it not to be cornered. We don't want the corners to be very sharp. Okay, we don't want the corners to be extremely sharp. We want the corners to be a bit rounded from the edges. So for that, again, we'll be using our border radius property. Okay, we'll be using our border radius property. So border radius, and we want to set the radius. Let's take it as 50 pixels. Okay, let's take the border radius as 50 pixels. So it will be a small radius around the border of 50 pixels itself. So let's go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see, that the border has become pretty huge. I will have to reduce the border pixels. But as you're able to see, so we are having circles of 50 pixels on all the corners. We are having circles of 50 pixels radius on all the corners right over there. Of course, we don't want it to be so rounded. So let's just reduce this to, let's say, 15 pixels, I guess. Let's reduce this to 15 pixels. Let's reload the page. And this looks appropriate enough. Okay, this looks appropriate enough. Let's leave it as 15 pixels right over there. The next thing that we want to do is for the paragraph tag. The paragraph tag also needs to be at the center. So again, for the paragraph tag, we are having .txt. And in that, we want to have the text align as center. Let's run this. Let's go back to our website, reload the page. You're able to see the text is now in the center itself, but we want it to be italics. Okay, we want it to be italics. So of course we'll be using text decoration. You can search for it as well. So you can just use text decoration, and so you can use text decoration or italics, CSS. So we are going to use, let's see what we are going to use right over here. We are going to use font style as italics. So right over there, we are going back to our code, and we are going to use font style as italics. So font style, we'll be setting it as to italics. Let's save this right over here. Let's go back to our website, reload the page. As you're able to see, our font is now italics in the paragraph as well. So this is how you are able to recreate the image, like the entire thing that we wanted, using your entire like CSS as well as HTML properties together. So, and that is how you need to proceed further as well. Slowly and steadily change things, experiment with different things, search for different things, and try to implement as much as possible. Okay, when you go back to the PPT, as you're able to see right over here, you are having this assignment as well. So I will be sending this to the Discord channel. I will be sending this PPT to the Discord channel itself. You guys have to try to complete this assignment. Okay, we will not be checking this up. Okay, but I hope that you guys will be taking some time to implement this entire thing. You just search for it. Okay, if you're not able to understand it, how to just cut particular stuff, so you can use text decoration for that, how to change the background color. So all these properties, use that, search for it, and try to implement it. It will be very easy, guys. Okay, it will be very easy. Don't worry about it. Everything we have already learned. Okay, we'll be sending it only to the Discord channel. all the PPTs. I'll make sure that everything is being sent to the Discord channel, guys. Okay. Okay. So why do we use a style sheet? Okay, there's one more reason to use a style sheet. Okay, that is why we use external CSS itself. One of the main reasons is that you have multiple HTML pages. Okay, you will have an about us page, a about me page. You will have a contact us page, a home page. You'll have multiple pages. Even DevTown. If you go to DevTown's website right over here, let's go to devtown.in. As you're able to see, this is the devtown.in's website. It's not just one page. It's not just one page. You can go to like maybe DevTown Bytes. Okay, let's go to roadmaps. So you are having one more page right over here. You can just go to courses. So you can go to like the full stack web development training program. So you are able to see the entire website. You can go to events. Okay, you can go to a particular event as well. So for example, if you want to check out the backend web development program, so you are able to see a particular event as well. You can see the explore page, the events page. So all these different pages that you have up till this point of time, they all have the same design pattern. All these pages, all these different pages have the same design pattern. That is, they have the same CSS file. You don't have to create a new file every time you are having a new HTML file. Every one of them will have a new HTML file, but the CSS file remains the same. You can create just one CSS file and link it to all the pages. You can just create one CSS file and just link it to all the pages, and that is where your external CSS file excels. Your external CSS file excels at the end. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. You guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Great. So now I'll show you the attendance link for today, guys. The attendance link is on the screen. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. Are you guys able to understand everything that we discussed in today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand everything that we have learned in today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, the attendance link is not visible. Are you guys able to understand everything that we have seen in today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Great, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So we'll meet tomorrow again at the same point, guys. Do you have any questions for me? Please let me know. I will try to understand. Okay, if you have any questions for me, please do let me know. How to give page color. The property that you will be using would be background color, guys. For putting up an image as the property, then you will be using image as the background. You will be using background image. Okay. So how to, let me just put down right over here. Okay, so I think so this is slow, I guess. I don't know. If you guys have any questions, I'm sitting right over here. Also, please guys do like the video. It really helps us a lot. It will be great if you guys are able to do that. Agnam Jain, Yami Jais, I've already shown the attendance once again. I understood that the attendance link was not visible, so I showed it once again later on as well. If you're not there in the class, then there's nothing that I can do. Again, like I said, I've shown the link once again. I understood that the link wasn't visible, so I showed to it once again, guys. Okay, I've shown the attendance link once again. I understood that it was not visible, so I've showed the attendance link once again. The Discord channel link is down in the description of the video, guys. Okay, I understand that the last word wasn't visible, so I've showed the attendance link once again, guys. Okay, How to use Discord, sir? Please teach us, Rahul. For right now, just join the Discord channel from down there in the description of the video. You will be able to join it. Okay. I'll just show it to you guys once again. Again, I'm showing it to you guys so that people are just silent. Okay. Okay. If you guys have any other questions, any other doubts, any other queries, please do let me know, guys. If you have any questions, so I forgot to mark yesterday's attendance, so I marked it on today's. Is it okay? Akansha, yesterday's attendance is still open. I haven't closed it. You can still go there and mark your attendance. Okay, so please do that immediately. Yes, the class is over, guys. You can leave. Okay. I can't afford laptop, but I want to learn web development completely. Is it possible to learn on phone? Any other method? Nawaz Akhtar, yes, you can learn it on your mobile phone as well. In the initial days, use Code Sandbox. Once you have used Code Sandbox to learn as much as possible, then you can use the AWS also provides virtual machines, which you can use directly from your mobile phone. It will connect to you to a laptop or a computer, which you can use from your mobile phone directly. Okay, I will be sending the notes today on the Discord channel. Okay, the link always works, guys. There's never a problem when the link isn't working. Okay, we'll be starting with Bootstrap from tomorrow, guys. Okay, we'll be starting with Bootstrap from tomorrow, so please be ready about the same. Okay, please be ready about the same, guys. If you're getting a dynamic link not found, that means that you're making a spelling mistake. Okay. In certain Code Sandbox, it isn't making changes to the website like it's supposed to. Ishita, I don't know. Like for me, it was working properly. There was no problems right over there. I've already shown the attendance link, guys. Will the YouTube video be there? I can reference it later. Yes, Jaren, it will always be there for the next 8 to 9 months, I guess. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, so I think so that would be it for today's class. We'll again meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Please be on time. The notes will be provided to you on the Discord channel, guys. So the link for the Discord channel is down in the description of the video. Please join us right over there. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.